Hey guys, Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans, and you have found Mortgage Sense with Kevin here on our YouTube channel. I have been waiting weeks to get this young lady on. I could not wait. I met Ashley about, I don't know what, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I knew who she was. I don't think she knew who I was, but we knew who she was, and we were stalking her and finally got her to come on our channel with us. And I can't wait for you to hear this story. Miss Ashley, and say I'm going to mess up your name. How do you,
Bellezzi.
Ballezzi. Okay.
Yes.
With EXP. Miss Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm so glad that we finally were able to make this happen. I know between the business and schedules, but I'm so glad to be here and just kind of talk with you a little bit more and let people kind of know who I am.
Fantastic. I tell you what, and I told you right before we started, I don't like scripts. I don't like having a very specific topic to talk about because you're having some great success here in Chattanooga.
Thank you.
And there's there's different reasons. We all get our businesses a little different way. But to me, it's about who the people are. Okay. I mean, I just read an article just before we started. I just read an article. There's almost 3,000 agents in Chattanooga alone, which means there's two agents for every listing.
Mm,
Okay. So
yeah.
there's a fight for every listing for every buyer that's out there. Um, but before we dig into business, tell me who Ashley is. Give me a 3 to 5 minute nugget about who you are.
Yeah, so I originally was born in Pennsylvania, grew up in Tampa, Florida, and I was born and raised Seventh-day Adventist. So I went to school down there, and then college came, and Southern Adventist University is what brought
Sure.
me to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I actually got married, had a baby, and got a divorce all before the age of 21. Um, and my daughter's dad at the time had a really great job here. So I was like, I'm going to build my life here. Things didn't work out between him and I, but I eventually got into real estate. Um, my dad was a car salesman my whole life. My mom was in the mortgage business my whole life. So it only made sense that real estate was probably the best option for me. And so I started on one of the top teams in Chattanooga, was there for a year and a half. Then I moved to another top team in Chattanooga where I became inside sales. So my first year in real estate, I ended up selling a little over 24 homes, worked a lot of the for sale by owner market. But because my daughter's dad ended up moving out of the area, I didn't have help and I didn't have any family. So I ended up moving to this other team and becoming an inside sales agent. So I learned how to really talk on the phone, build my phone skills, my relationship building, and just learn a whole different side of real estate that I didn't even know was there. And then that turned into an opportunity to be the director of inside sales on now a top 10 team here in Chattanooga. So I helped create that team, build it up. And then in October, I went solo, and here we are.
Where you
So
are.
here I am.
You know, there's something about, and I know we've had this conversation. There's something about, what works today or what worked last week or last month or last year is not going to work today. Okay. And you've had some fantastic training on different ways of building your business. Um, but there's one thing about taking having the training, but there's another thing about putting it to use. Okay. And there's a big difference there. Uh, what do you think your secret is? If let me ask it a different way. There's we all I like to say we have to be different. There's got to be something different because real estate agents can get their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner, their after dinner drinks, their coffee before breakfast 7 days a week from different lenders. I get that. Okay. So we have to be different. We have to, which is why I'm doing our podcast. Okay. What makes Ashley different? Why should somebody call you?
Well, I think number one, what makes me different is I am one of the top female agents on Zillow right now that has the most reviews alongside my business. And that's because I'm all about relationship building and I'm also really great at communication. And I think that those are two big things that a lot of agents in this market fail to do full circle and build on it and build their business off of that. And I think because of my experience with the first training I had on that team, I got all the fundamentals, all the things that you need to learn about real estate. Then I went in and learned how to talk on the phone, to cold call, to talk to strangers. It's always kind of been my personality. I'm not afraid of that. But that really allowed me to hone in on that skill. And then coming to a team where you're role playing and you're training allowed me to get to know all different types of personalities, where that disc test comes in. And then I can learn how to mold myself based off of, the clients I might have. But that's also what I think makes me different is I'm not very molding. What you see of me is what you get. I really am very genuine. I know what this transaction's like and I know what it means to people. And I'm not just a friend. Like, I'm not just your real estate agent. I am almost a friend, and I value everything that they say, and I provide them excellent service, and I make sure that they're completely educated through the entire process, which I think has allowed for me to be successful, and especially solo now, putting my name and my brand on things. Now people know it's my business. It's me who's getting it. It's not somebody else on the team or vice versa. So I think that that is really what's allowed me to be successful, is because it's no longer just a transaction, it's a relationship.
That is so, so very strong because at the end of the day, if you think about it, you and I are in a part of a transaction. It's the largest purchase that these families make. And it's very, very personal and it's very scary. I don't care if it's your first home or if it's your 10th home, you don't do it every day. And it's a process. I mean, I like to say before we get finished, we're going to know everything but their seventh grade locker code.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to know everything about them. And it is the better educated they are, which is our job. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The more informed they are, because I've always said, and I'm going to challenge you here, and I know you're not going to disagree with me. You could not sell me a house. You couldn't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't interested in a house, there's no way that you could talk me into a house. That's not what we do. I'm not trying to talk. If you are my customer sitting in my office right now, this is your loan. It's not my loan.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to find out what your hot points are, what's important to you, where your budget is, and structure it in a way that it makes financial sense for you and your family. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And there's nothing I could say to say you need to do this. No, it doesn't work that way. Um, the day that it's about that transaction, it's over for both of us. Okay.
1,000%. I completely agree. And it's something that I used to train, to clients. I'm like, you have to figure out what their motivation is and learn how to critique that into getting them into a transaction. But now that I'm in the industry or out there just like that since October, solo back in it again, and having learned all this experience, I realize that is important, but also it's constantly staying educated and updated on the market, because if you know what's happening and you know your client's motivation, it should be pretty easy for you to go hand in hand and laying out all of the bullet points, which makes sense for them at whatever time that may be. And I think that that's where people miss the mark. They don't know how to be personable, build that relationship. They're not constantly educated. And then they don't know how to use all of that to create the transaction and to communicate that to their clients.
So I'm going to tell you something that just happened today. Okay. And this is fresh. All right. So I've always said I would rather tell you and your clients tell you 100% the truth. Okay. I'd rather give you all the facts, show you all the numbers, and not close your loan for you to find out later that I was telling you the truth. Okay. Ashley, I get 15 to 20 referrals a year from people that did not use me, that got if you've heard that term, bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
When you get something that's too good to be true, and say, can you match it? Well, no, I can't match it because it's not out there.
Yeah.
So we had a situation just this morning that it's a full point different than what we were. That's impossible. Okay. It's impossible. And so I said, okay, the education part of it is get the LE. If it is right, if it's structured the right way, and they haven't pounded you with all these extra costs,
Mm-hmm.
if it's true, I'll tell you to go to the other company. All right. So they sent it to me. I'm going to take my glasses off for this one. It was so jacked up. Okay. It was so jacked up, and there's no way. And so, my advice, and this loan is closing in 28 days. My advice to this customer was tell them to lock it today. All right.
Mhm.
Because when they lock it, here's the facts part of it. Here's the information that they need. When it's locked, we have to send out a lock disclosure
Mhm.
with the rate, with the fees, with everything on it, and it cannot change
Mhm.
once we've locked it. So they can't come back and add discount points to it.
Mhm.
The thing about it is, and I haven't heard, it's been like 3 hours since we've had this conversation. I said, you know what? If they can honor it, take it, take it.
Mhm. But they're
And
probably not, and that's what
it's,
a lot of lenders now are not giving you the true information on the front end. And then when you're at closing, 2 days before, and you're getting that Alta statement or that final disclosure, and you're seeing those closing cost numbers, and you're wondering why it went from 9 to 16, then that's another conversation that was never told or communicated with them on the front end. And that's just because everybody's looking to make a deal out of anything. But
and
I think
you're
that's
right.
why, like you and myself, if we really are educating our clients and building that relationship, we're going to give them a successful transaction, which is going to lead into more business that we're both seeing right now while everybody else is struggling.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Well, hey, what's the best way for people to find you?
So you can find me on Facebook, Ashley Ballezzi, and then my Instagram is Ballezzi_Lane, Lane.
Fantastic. And guys, my name is Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans. Our website is kevinblairteam.com. Our phone number is 423-488-7571. It's answered 7 days a week. The only time I don't answer it, Sherry takes my phone away when we go to church on Sunday mornings. So I can't answer on Sunday mornings, but we do return our calls. If you like this kind of information, hit like, hit subscribe. If you want more information about me and my team, you can go to the About Me page, click a link, fill out a short little form. We're not asking for your social, just nothing like that. A short little form, and I will contact you personally. Ashley, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I can't wait for this to be posted out there. Young lady, keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you again. Appreciate it all, and have a great rest of your day.
You got it.